make school dinner pudding recipes without making school sprinkle cake. So I'm using a foil tray here. This is about 12 inches by 7.5 inches, and I'm just lining it with my non-stick spray and a piece of baking paper. I use 260 grams of baking marge, 260 grams of caster sugar. I creamed those together and added 4 large free-range eggs and some vanilla. I then added 260 grams of self-raising flour and 4 tablespoons of milk. I mixed all of that together in the mixer, and then I piled it into the foil tray. The oven was preheating at 160 degrees fan, and this baked for 40 minutes. It was ready to come out when it had risen. It was golden brown and the knife came out clean, and I tipped it upside down to get a nice flat top because this just makes it easier to ice. Once it had cooled, I turned it upside down so that the top was nice and flat, and I also trimmed off the edges just to make sure it could fit back nicely back into that foil tray. To make the icing, I just used 300 grams of icing sugar and 4 tablespoons of water, but I added that water really slowly because otherwise it just goes too watery and runny, and you want a nice sort of thick icing, spreadable consistency. If you add too much water, you can always just add a bit more icing sugar to thicken it up again, which was what I did. And then it was time to spread it all over the tray bake. If it's not spreading too well, you can wet the back of a spoon or your spatula, and this just helps to kind of make it nice and smooth and spread it out, and I make sure it goes right into the corners. I used a mixture of 2 different sprinkles because I wanted the bright colours and the pastel colours, and covered the whole top of it. And then the icing has to set, which takes a few hours. So I let that set, and then I cut it up into 15 squares, and this was very light and fluffy. It was really yummy, and it really reminded me of school. I have done a recipe for a chocolate one of these as well, so let me know in the comments if you'd like to see that one, because that was also very delicious. This is definitely a favourite, and it was very yummy. It's quite big to get in your mouth, so excuse me stuffing it in there. It just had to be done.